Family is supposed to protect you, but sometimes the danger comes from inside the family itself. When my father remarried, I thought it was just a chance for him to find happiness again. What I didn't expect was for his new wife, my stepmother, to try and steal everything he built, even if it meant cutting his own children out of his life. This is the story of how she almost got away with it, and how I exposed her lies in front of everyone. A new stepmother. My name is Rachel. In 2020, my mother passed away after a long illness. My father, George, was devastated. After 35 years of marriage, he suddenly found himself alone at 65. About a year later, Dad met Linda, a woman nearly 20 years younger than him. At first, I was supportive. Dad deserves happiness, I told myself. My brother James was more skeptical. She's after his money, he warned. But I brushed it off. I didn't want to believe Dad could be manipulated. At first, Linda seemed caring. She cooked for Dad, went with him to doctor appointments, and even helped around the house. But slowly, little red flags started to appear. She would interrupt whenever Dad and I tried to talk about finances. She forgot to give me messages when Dad asked me to help with bills. And she kept saying things like, "Your father is getting old. He shouldn't worry about money anymore. I'll handle it." The will changes. One evening, while visiting, I overheard Linda on the phone in the kitchen. She didn't know I was in the next room. She said, "Yes, the lawyer is preparing the updated will. The children won't get the house. It'll be in my name only. Once George signs it, it's all settled." My heart dropped. The next morning, I asked Dad about it. He looked confused. "Linda said you two wanted me to simplify things. She told me you'd prefer cash instead of property when I'm gone." I was furious. She was twisting our words. "Dad, that's not true. You worked your whole life for this house. You always wanted it passed down to us, not sold off." But Linda had already planted doubt in his mind. The private investigator. That night, I called my brother James. We both agreed something was seriously wrong. "If she's willing to lie about what we said, who knows what else she's hiding," James said. So we decided to hire a private investigator. His name was Carl, an old-school guy with a camera and a sharp instinct for liars. We gave him Linda's details and asked him to dig quietly. 2 weeks later, Carl called me. "Rachel, you'll want to see this." He showed me photos of Linda meeting with a real estate agent behind Dad's back. She wasn't just planning for the future, she was already trying to transfer the property into her own name. She even forged Dad's signature on preliminary paperwork. Carl also uncovered that Linda had a history, 2 previous marriages, both ending with her wobbling away with property settlements. It was all a pattern. She targeted older men, married them, and then cut out their children while grabbing assets. Setting the trap. James and I decided not to confront her immediately. We needed Dad to see the truth with his own eyes, so we asked Carl to gather more evidence. Sure enough, a week later, he caught Linda at the bank trying to move $80,000 from Dad's savings into an account under her name. She failed because the teller asked for Dad's direct authorization, but the attempt was recorded. Now we had enough. We asked Dad to meet us at his lawyer's office under the pretense of clarifying estate documents. Linda came too, smiling confidently, holding a folder. I knew she thought she was about to win. The big reveal. Inside the conference room, the lawyer asked, "George, do you want to confirm the changes your wife requested last week?" "Changes?" Dad asked, frowning. That's when I placed Carl's investigation file on the table. Photos, bank records, copies of forged papers. I turned on a small recorder and pressed play. Linda's voice, from Carl's wire, saying to the real estate agent, "Once I get George to sign, the property will be in my name. His kids won't see a dime." The room went silent. Dad's hands trembled as he looked at her. "Linda, what is this?" Her face went pale. "George, don't listen to them. They're twisting everything. This is—" The lawyer cut her off. "These are criminal actions, Linda. Forgery, attempted fraud, misrepresentation. If Rachel and James press charges, you could face prison." Linda broke down. "I was just trying to secure our future." "No," I snapped, my voice steady. "You were trying to erase us from his future." The aftermath. Within a week, Dad annulled every document Linda had pushed him to sign. He restored his original will, splitting everything fairly between James and I. Linda? She packed her bags and left the house that very night. A month later, Dad filed for divorce. Turns out, Carl also uncovered that she had been secretly transferring money to her ex-husband. Dad was heartbroken, but grateful. He told me, "If you hadn't stopped her, I would have lost everything, not just the house, but my relationship with my children." Today, Dad still lives in the family home, and James and I visit him every week. As for Linda, she's facing a civil suit for attempted fraud. Justice served. Some people think revenge is loud. For me, it was quiet, gathering the truth, exposing the lies, and letting everyone see who she really was. Linda thought she could erase Dad's children and rewrite his legacy in her name. But in the end, the only thing rewritten was her reputation, from caring wife to fraudster. And every time I walk into that house, the one my father built with his own hands, I remind myself, sometimes the best revenge is simply making sure the truth comes out before it's too late.